Hello everyone, welcome to Business School 101. Imagine a world where you could only buy your groceries from one store. What if every time you picked up your phone, you were charged by the same company? This is the world of monopolies. Monopoly is one of the most critical terms in economics and management. So what is monopoly? What are its features? Are there some real-world examples? What are its influences to the consumers and market? In this video, I will discuss these questions with you. Section 1. Definition. By definition, a monopoly is a market structure with a single seller or producer that assumes a dominant position in an industry or a sector. The term has its origins in the combination of two Greek words, monos, meaning single or alone, and polion, meaning to sell. The term monopolion in Greek referred to the exclusive right or privilege to sell a particular commodity. This concept was later adopted into Latin and English. Section 2. Key features. Generally there are 5 key features of a monopoly. Number 1. Single seller. A monopoly exists when there is only one seller or provider of a particular product or service in the market. This single firm controls the entire supply, and consumers have no other options if they need the good or service the monopolist offers. Number 2. Price maker. Due to the lack of competition, a monopolist has the power to set prices rather than being a price taker as in competitive markets. The monopolist can adjust prices to maximize profits, often resulting in higher prices for consumers. Number 3. High barriers to entry. Monopolies are typically sustained by significant barriers to entry that prevent other firms from entering the market and competing with the monopolist. These barriers can include legal protections like patents or copyrights, control over essential resources, economies of scale, or customer loyalty due to brand recognition. Number 4. Market power. A monopolist has considerable market power, which is the ability to influence market conditions, set prices, and affect output levels. This power can lead to the monopolist extracting economic rents or supernormal profits at the expense of consumers. Number 5. Inelastic demand. The products or services provided by a monopoly often have inelastic demand, meaning that consumers are less sensitive to price changes and will continue to purchase the product even at higher prices. This inelasticity can be due to the lack of substitutes or the essential nature of the good or service. Section 3. Examples. Here are 4 notable examples of monopolies. Number 1. Standard Oil Company. Standard Oil, founded by John D. Rockefeller and Henry Flagler in 1870. Through vertical integration and aggressive business tactics, Standard Oil controlled approximately 90% of the oil refineries in the U.S. by 1880. The company's monopoly was seen as a threat to competition and led to the U.S. Supreme Court case in 1911, which resulted in the company's breakup into 34 smaller companies. The dissolution of Standard Oil was a landmark moment for antitrust law and regulation in the United States. Number 2. AT&T, American Telephone and Telegraph Company, or AT&T, held a monopoly over telephone services in the United States for most of the 20th century. The company's control over the telephone network and infrastructure allowed it to dictate prices and stifle competition. AT&T's monopoly was eventually broken up in 1984 following an antitrust lawsuit by the U.S. Department of Justice. The breakup led to the creation of multiple companies now competing in the market for phone services, equipment, and related technologies. Number 3. De Beers Group. De Beers Group is the world's leading diamond company with a history that dates back to 1888. It at one point controlled around 90% of the world's diamond production and distribution. Although its market share has decreased due to regulatory pressures and new competition, De Beers still wields considerable influence in the global diamond market. The company's past control over the supply of diamonds allowed it to dictate prices and terms, which is a classic characteristic of a monopoly. Number 4. Google. Google is often considered a monopoly in the search engine market. With over 90% of global internet searches being carried out through Google, the company has significant control over the online search market. Google's dominance extends beyond search into various other technology sectors, including online advertising, where it also holds a substantial market share. The company's vast amount of user data allows it to tailor search results and advertisements, making it difficult for competitors to gain a foothold. Section 4. Costs and benefits. Here are the 5 major costs of monopolies to the consumers and market. Number 1. Higher prices. Monopolies can lead to higher prices for consumers. as the monopolist faces no competition and can set prices at a level that maximizes profits rather than reflecting competitive market forces. Number 2. Reduced consumer choice. With only one provider, consumers have limited options. This lack of choice can be frustrating for consumers and may stifle demand for the product or service. Number 3. Inefficiency. Monopolies may become complacent and fail to innovate or improve productivity over time. This can lead to inefficiencies and a failure to meet consumer demands effectively. Number 4. Abuse of market power. Monopolies may use their market power to engage in anti-competitive practices, such as predatory pricing or exclusive dealing arrangements, which can harm consumers and other businesses. Number 5. Negative externalities. Monopolies may impose negative externalities on society, such as environmental damage or reduced consumer welfare, without bearing the full social costs of their actions. While generally we believe monopoly is bad for the market, it does have a few benefits. Number 1. Economies of scale. Monopolies can take advantage of economies of scale, which means that as production increases, the cost per unit of output decreases. This can lead to lower prices for consumers, at least in the short term. Number 2. Consistent quality. With a single provider, there can be more control over the quality of the product or service offered. This can lead to more consistent quality standards, which can be beneficial for consumers. Number 3. Elimination of excess competition. In some cases, intense competition can lead to destructive practices that harm consumers or the industry. A monopoly can eliminate such competition, leading to a more stable market environment. Section 5. Strategies. Here are some key strategies to prevent monopolistic practices. Number 1. Strengthening legal frameworks. Implementing and enforcing comprehensive antitrust laws that prohibit monopolistic behavior, such as price fixing, market allocation, and abuse of market power, is fundamental to curbing monopolies. Number 2. Establishing independent regulatory bodies. The creation of independent regulatory agencies with the authority to investigate and penalize anti-competitive behavior is crucial. These agencies should have the power to initiate investigations and impose sanctions on companies that violate competition laws. Number 3. Promotion of market entry and exit. Facilitating easy market entry and exit can help to maintain a dynamic market environment where new competitors can challenge existing monopolies. This can be achieved by reducing bureaucratic barriers and ensuring that regulations do not unfairly favor incumbent firms. Number 4. Public awareness and education. Raising public awareness about the importance of competition and the dangers of monopolies can help to create a culture that values fair competition. Educational campaigns can inform consumers and businesses about their rights and the avenues available to report anti-competitive practices. Number 5. Encouraging innovation and competition. Policies that promote innovation and competition, such as providing incentives for research and development, can help to create a market environment where new entrants can compete with established firms and challenge monopolistic positions. Number 6. Breaking up existing monopolies. In extreme cases, the government may decide to break up the monopolistic entity into smaller, competing firms. This is a radical measure that should be taken only after careful consideration and when less intrusive measures have failed to restore competition. Section 6. Summary. To sum up, a monopoly is a market structure with a single seller or producer that assumes a dominant position in an industry or a sector. Monopolies are discouraged in free market economies because they stifle competition, limit consumer substitutes, and thus, limit consumer choice. Alright, that's all for today's topic. If you have any questions regarding this video, please leave your thoughts in a comment below. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.